Hi, it's Teresa with Crafty with Teresa. Thank you so much for joining me today. First, I'd like to take a minute to say welcome. I have some new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Also, I can't forget those that have stuck with me. I appreciate you very much. Those that are new to my channel and haven't yet subscribed, I hope today you like what you see and you'll jump on over to that subscribe button, hit it, and the notification button so you can see the new videos as they come out. Now, let's get to looking at today's video. First, I do need to apologize. As I'm learning through these YouTube video sessions, I did not realize that sometimes the lighting goes in and out, and I did figure out what's causing it, and unfortunately it's me. I'm the one who's getting in the way of the light. I was trying to use natural light today, so I apologize in advance. You will see some variations in the lighting today. So today we'll be looking at another quick and easy card. It's actually one design made into 4 cards. Let's quickly look at the 2 last cards I showed you a week or so ago, depending on when today's video loads. Oh, and here's a look at the card that we'll be working on today, which is actually card number 3. A little surprise for you today. If you've been watching my videos, you know I like to throw in a few sneak peeks, and I'm actually going to throw one in today. These cards are part of a one-sheet wonder that's actually a work in progress right now. But all 4 of these cards are great masculine cards, and each one is a little different for whatever the occasion. Now, because I have 3 birthdays in July and another grandbaby on the way, I will have a 4th birthday in July. So guess who needs to work on these cards pretty early? That's right, it's me. So 2 of the birthdays are around Independence Day, which is a holiday here in the United States on July 4th. The card today, well, I'll be stepping it up a bit. At least a little bit more than the cards 1 and 2. Not much, it won't be that difficult. We'll cover a few tips today. For example, we'll be doing some stenciling. You'll see how we look at this stencil and make it work for you. Another tip, I've added some painter's tape to the top upper left-hand side of the stencil. It really helps you line it up easily each time. Great for mass producing, by the way. Plus, it makes the stencil easy to find if for some reason it lands on your desk and you can't find it. Don't ask me how I know this. I'm kidding. It's happened to me several times. Also, we'll be looking at a new Stampin' Up! Stamp set that I've purchased. It's actually a bundle, and it's called Unbounded Love. I love the sayings in this bundle because you can mix and match them. My mind just keeps spinning because I keep thinking of how many different ways I can use the stamp set. I mentioned this bundle. Well, it has a die set, which, by the way, is wonderful. The die set gives you an opportunity to also do some embossing. I mean, it is just fantastic. So let's take a look at the die set that we'll be using today for this particular card. It's perfect for what I need, which is a happy birthday card. Now I've grabbed my die cutting machine. I don't always show the die cutting, but today I wanted to show you a few tips. Now, I don't have the Stampin' Up! Machine just yet, but I will put in the description box the information about the Stampin' Up! Machine, which is, by the way, a great bargain, as well as something we call a sandwich, which is what we'll do with the plates to help with die cutting. We'll talk more about that in just a bit. Now, as you can see, my cutting plates are well loved, but it really took me a while to try die cutting. I was a little intimidated by it, but once you get the hang of the sandwich, they call it, it's very simple. Once you build your sandwich of plates, it's basically just taking your die cut and your pattern paper in this case and putting it inside the sandwich. I will add the combination to the description box below, but I really had more tips I wanted to show you here today, so we won't be going through that. One of the tips I wanted to show you, as you start to run it through, you will hear a popping sound as you start. This is very normal to hear these sounds. What I do is I get the sandwich started, and then once it grabs it, I'll place my hand on top of the machine and crank that handle till it goes all the way through. Now my old habit is to run it back and forth, but you really don't need to do that. You can run it through one time about 99% of the time. Now I'll grab my candy apple red cardstock. Stampin' Up! Cardstock that would work great here is the real red cardstock. Now I have a die set that has these little stars inside them. I will use that for the stars, but if you want to duplicate this with Stampin' Up! Products, if you have the Sea Turtle stamp set, those smaller stars would work great here. A few tips here is whatever items you use. When you have these small bits, I would recommend that whatever you're going to be placing it in, grab a bounce dryer sheet and run it through it. Slide it over the top, inside, so that it helps with being able to grab those little tiny items out of it. Now if you have either of these tools, it'll work, but I have the Take Your Pick tool, and I'll use that to take those bits and poke them out of the die. You could also use your Take Your Pick die brush tool. Either one would work great here. Now here's another one of the tips I wanted to show you. The card I showed you, I popped up a circle border to add some dimension. I wanted to show you that you could also have the same effect without the dimension and make this more of a one-layer card. For example, you could just add a layer, in this case a red border around the pattern paper circle. We'll go over that in just a minute. Now I'm going to run through the stenciling portion of this card. This is nothing special here. I just wanted to bring it to your attention and show you how you can just quickly add a little bit of color to your design. I think it steps up the card a bit. I grabbed my handy dandy little picture holder. I'm not quite sure how to use my glass mat yet. It's brand new. I just got it and I love it, but I'm just not quite used to it yet, but you will see that I kind of start to break it in this video. I'll place that cardstock, which is 3 3/4 by 5, by the way, onto my version of a sticky sheet, which basically is a picture holder. Now I'll go ahead and ink up my blender brush with some of the sapphire ink. By the way, boho blue would work from Stampin' Up! If you have that product. It works great here also. I'll do it very lightly in circles, and what I do is I start light, and then if I need to add more, I add it in. Just the old adage of you can add on rather than take it away. So that's what I do. I'll lightly go around the stencil outside, and then in just a minute you'll see that I get a little bit heavier around these outside edges and around that circle. This piece goes on top of that red cardstock. By the way, that is also a change from the initial card. Again, I'm just trying to show you different options. Now for the big reveal, voila! I think it turned out great, and if I need to add some more ink around the edges, I'll do that. Now there are a few ways to make your sentiments. You can die cut first, or you can stamp it first and then die cut it. I'll show you both ways here today. I don't really have a preference. It's whatever works best for you. After I get the sentiment ready, I'm going to grab my blender brush and my sapphire ink again, and I'm just going to lightly add a little bit of color to that sentiment. I just like the whites to match. So I added a little bit of soft edging onto that sentiment piece. So I'll start putting this card together. First, I'm going to put the red panel down on my 4¼ by 5½ card, which I've already scored, by the way. Now I need to put that stenciled star white paper together with the pattern paper circle. I'll flip it over and I'll grab a piece of washi tape and tape it down on the back side, and then I'll just cut it off, leaving that little edge. When I get ready to place it onto that red panel, I'll just make sure I leave a little of the red showing. And I like it. I'll trim it off and then add some glue to the back and place it onto the red panel. Next, this card is for one of our family members who happens to be a man, so no bling bling here except for those stars. I'll grab my Take Your Pick tool to place the stars onto the circle panel. I'll go ahead and show you real quick how great this works, and here's how I do it. There are two sides to this tool that I'll be using today. One side has just a little bit of glue on the tip that actually grabs things for you, like these little small bits. That's the side we'll use to pick up the stars. And then the other side has a sharp edge to it, and sometimes I have to actually take that sharp edge and help place that star where I want it to be, and you'll see that. Now let's take a look at both of these cards. You can let me know which one is your favorite. So that's what I have for you here today. Thank you again for joining me, and stay tuned because I have more videos coming out soon. Until next time, have a great day.